It's Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts. People are gathering outside the local Riot superstore, gearing up for a Black Friday sale. The owner, Thomas Wright, has a special promo tonight featuring free waffle irons for the first 50 customers. A massive crowd swarms the entrance. Everyone is desperate to snag a deal. But just 10 minutes before the event kicks off, the crowd suddenly goes wild. Jessica, the owner's daughter, sneaks her friends inside through the employee entrance. They start picking out whatever they want, and they're taunting the people waiting outside. It's a blatant display of privilege, and it instantly ignites the crowd's fury. Seeing things spiral out of control, the store rushes 2 extra security guards to the front. But suddenly, a guy named Lonnie grabs a megaphone from the crowd. He yells that the sale has started. Like a breaking dam, the mob crashes through the barricades. People surge frantically toward the doors. Total chaos erupts. Manny, one of the guards, sees how bad it is, and he just bails. With no one left to keep order, the place turns into a madhouse. Doug, the other guard, tries to prevent a stampede. He rushes to unlock the doors, but the mob doesn't even give him a second to get the key in. The glass doors shatter, and the crowd pours in. They storm into the store like maniacs. Doug gets trampled instantly, covered in blood. Someone gets their artery sliced by the broken glass, but sheer willpower keeps him going, and he actually grabs a waffle iron. But he quickly collapses from blood loss, and someone else snatches the waffle iron right out of his hands. Jessica's boyfriend, Bobby, sees that Doug is still alive. He tries to go help him, but the chaotic crowd snaps his arm. He's a baseball star, and just like that, his career is over. A woman named Amanda realizes things have gone wrong. She tries to make a run for it, but someone shoves her to the ground. Before she can get back up, she gets slammed by a shopping cart, and her hair gets tangled in the wheels. Lizzie, the woman pushing the cart, completely ignores her. As they tug the cart back and forth, they literally rip a huge chunk of Amanda's scalp off. Soon after, Amanda's husband finds her body. He collapses, screaming in grief. Sheriff Newland arrives and sees that the situation is totally gone, so he draws his gun and fires. And just like that, the Thanksgiving sale ends in total mayhem. The victims' families blame the store owner, Thomas, for poor planning, but the surveillance footage from that night has been wiped clean, so Thomas gets off scot-free. The store stays open for business as usual, and for the next Thanksgiving, Thomas plans an even bigger Black Friday sale. Little does he know this year's Thanksgiving is going to turn into a bloodbath. The first victim is Lizzie, a waitress at a fast food joint. She just got off work and is heading out to celebrate a friend's birthday. But suddenly she spots a mask sitting on the counter. It represents John Carver. He was the first governor of the town's colony. Every Thanksgiving, people wear John Carver masks to honor him. Lizzie doesn't think much of it though. She just tosses the mask into the trash. But then a man wearing that exact same mask appears out of nowhere. He swings a knife and slashes right through Lizzie's hand. Then he grabs her by the hair and dunks her into a sink full of water. Next, he opens a freezer door and smashes her face right onto the freezing metal. Desperate to escape, Lizzie literally rips the skin off her own face. She scampers into the break room. She pulls out her phone to call the cops, but the Face ID won't recognize her mutilated face. Just as she's about to lose hope, she sees on the security monitor that the killer seems to have left. She even hears the distinct sound of a door closing outside. Lizzie grabs her bag and runs for her life toward her car. But when she gets there, she realizes her keys are gone. Unknown to her, the killer is already sitting in the driver's seat. The car suddenly accelerates straight at her. Early the next morning, Lizzie's lower half is found hanging from the supermarket's giant billboard. To prevent mass panic, Sheriff Newland orders it covered with a white sheet. But Jessica and her friends still receive a photo of the gruesome scene, along with a dinner party invitation from the killer. For days, Jessica has felt like someone in a mask is following them. Now, with this invitation, she knows something serious is going on. She goes straight to Sheriff Newland and tells him all about her suspicions and what she's seen. Newland pulls the security footage from near Lizzie's murder scene. Combining that with clips circulating online, he concludes the killer likely witnessed last year's tragedy and is now exacting targeted revenge. But the missing footage from that night makes it impossible to pinpoint the trigger. So, Newland asks Jessica to reveal the full truth of what happened that night. This means she has to betray her own family and expose her father's negligence to the public. Jessica is deeply conflicted until later that night, another murder finally hardens her resolve. Because that mask of death appears again, and this time, the target is Manny. He's the security guard who ran away when the riot started last year. Manny has been watching the news. He knows a masked killer is hunting down people involved in last year's accident. Spooked by the news, he plans to skip town tonight, but he finds that creepy mask sitting right inside his house. Suddenly, a steel knife strikes, stabbing him precisely in the abdomen. The killer immediately wraps a wire garrote around Manny's neck and decapitates him. The killer bags up the head to go, but on his way out, he notices Manny's cat has an empty food bowl. So, thoughtfully, he pours some food for the cat. It seems the killer has professional standards after all. Back at his place, He places Manny's severed head right on the dinner table. The camera pans slowly and reveals Lizzie's upper body sitting in the background. The next morning, Jessica wakes up. She gets another text from the killer. It's a gruesome photo of Manny and Lizzie posed together. The police get wind of this. They try to trace the killer's phone immediately, but he's smart about it. He takes the photo in one spot, but drives to a different location to hit send. Then he powers down the phone so the cops can't track him. Meanwhile, Jessica is hunting for answers. She combs through the old surveillance footage from the supermarket. She wants to identify the next potential victim before the killer strikes, and she finds a clue. She prints out stills from the video. She plans to show them to the sheriff. She also links up with her ex, Bobby, who she hasn't seen in ages. Together, they bring their findings to the sheriff. They identify a guy named Lionel who plays the turkey in the parade. He was involved with Lizzie in the accident that killed Amanda. Then there's Lonnie, a key figure. His shouting is what triggered the riot that night. He is extremely likely to be next on the list. Back at the school, Lonnie is getting ready for a workout. His girlfriend Amy suddenly runs in. She says she has a surprise for him. Lonnie knows exactly what she means, but his coach told him to stay focused before the game. Amy tells him to just watch from a distance. She starts to strip. Suddenly, someone twists Lonnie's head a full 180 degrees. He dies instantly. Amy has no idea. She continues taking off her clothes. Suddenly, sharp knives appear beneath the trampoline she's on. And just like that, Amy is killed in a creatively horrific way. After the murders, the gym is put on lockdown. But a young couple sees how quiet it is. They sneak in for a hookup. As soon as they enter the hallway, a shadow appears. Jessica hears her friend Gabby scream and runs to find them. Staring down the pitch-black corridor, she feels afraid. She quickly texts Gabby, but the notification sound comes from a nearby trash can. Jessica walks over to check and finds Gabby's phone lying inside. Confused, Jessica picks it up, but the moment she presses the screen, the killer lunges. She shoves the trash can at the attacker. She sprints out of the hallway. She hides in the school's costume room, but the killer is hot on her trail. The room is full of mannequin heads. There's nowhere to hide. The killer starts hacking at everything. He's getting closer and closer. Jessica blends in with the mannequin heads, frozen in fear. She spots a pair of scissors nearby. She reaches out to grab them, but the killer hears the noise. He walks straight toward her with his axe raised. Luckily, police outside save her just in time. The sheriff asks if she saw the killer's face, but he was completely covered up. So, that lead is a dead end. Hearing that Jessica was almost killed, her ex, Bobby, rushes over. He tries to comfort her. Her current boyfriend, Ryan, shows up too. The tension between the two guys is instant. Jessica throws off the jacket Bobby gave her, and Bobby awkwardly picks it up off the ground. Soon after, Yulia's father arrives at the scene. He drags Yulia away. He knows the killer is targeting their specific group, so he plans to take his daughter out of town to hide. He even hires a police officer for personal protection, but he underestimates the killer's intel. That night, the masked man shoots the guard with a tranquilizer dart. While Yulia's dad is packing the car, he notices the guard is already lying unconscious on the ground. Yulia has no idea what's happening. She's on a video call with Jessica. Suddenly, the killer attacks her from behind. He grabs her phone and points the camera right at her face. Fighting through the pain, Yulia rips the metal pick right out of her ear, but she can't escape. Jessica and Scuba watch the horror unfold on the phone screen. They rush over to Yulia's house. They search the place and find a room set up like a slaughterhouse. The killer appears calmly holding up a phone. The screen shows a live feed of their friends, Gabby and Evan. Scuba tries to pull the trigger, but realizes he forgot to take the safety off. The killer seizes the moment and stomps on a pedal. A machine activates and shoves Yulia's body onto a blade. Scuba tries to save her, but it's too late. Jessica and Scuba are terrified. Their friends are being kidnapped or killed one by one. They have no idea what to do next. Sheriff Newland suggests canceling the Thanksgiving parade. Since so many people wear John Carver masks that day, anyone could be the killer. But Jessica insists the parade go on. She thinks it's the best trap to catch him. She wants revenge. Morning comes. The parade begins. Lionel is dressed as the turkey, leading the float. Police heavily guard the area. Before they leave, a friend gives Jessica a ring. He says it's a lucky charm, but it has a small hidden blade inside. The streets are packed with people. Suddenly, a group of protesters in masks blocks Jessica's float. They are angry about the store opening on Thanksgiving after last year's tragedy. The police step in and clear them out. Everyone thinks they are safe, but suddenly, Lionel gets decapitated right in front of the crowd. The killer drops smoke bombs. The scene turns into total anarchy. He moves through the smoke like a ghost. He shoots a guard with a tranquilizer. Then he throws a flashbang grenade to blind everyone. In the confusion, he fires 4 more darts. He knocks out Jessica, her dad Thomas, her stepmom Kathleen, and Scuba. He loads them up and takes them away. They wake up to a twisted Thanksgiving dinner. The killer prepares a special seasoning. He places Kathleen, the stepmom, onto the table. He plans to roast her alive. Kathleen wakes up. She sprints out of the room, desperate to live, but the killer calmly throws a carving fork into her back and drags her back to the oven. The intense heat wakes Kathleen up from her unconscious state. She starts screaming in agony, but suddenly, the oven door opens. Kathleen thinks he's going to let her out, but instead, he jabs a syringe into her arm. Soon, the screaming stops. 10 minutes later, the smell of roast meat wafts from the oven. Meanwhile, the police get a new lead. They track the killer's phone to a local park. He is live streaming. The video shows the victims tied to a dinner table. It looks like a cannibalistic feast is about to begin. Police rush to the park, but it's a trap. This isn't the actual location. It's just a phone rebroadcasting the feed. The real live stream is happening somewhere else, and it's a full-blown mukbang horror show. The killer lifts the white cloth cover. The main course is Kathleen. She has been roasted exactly like a Thanksgiving turkey. Thomas sees this and immediately pukes. Everyone else screams in pure terror. Then the killer grabs a corkscrew. He taps into Gabby's carotid artery and pours himself a glass of fresh wine. Since it's Thanksgiving, the killer forces everyone to tell the camera what they are thankful for. Evan goes first. He knows he's going to die no matter what he says, so he screams at the live chat. He yells that they are in an old historic house. He's trying to give the police a clue. The punishment for this is brutal. The killer bashes Evan's head in until it's crushed. Online viewers go crazy, smashing the like button, but this is just the appetizer. The main course is still Kathleen. He slices a piece of meat from her thigh and forces Thomas to taste his own wife. Meanwhile, Jessica is using her rings blade to cut her ropes. She secretly passes the ring to Scuba. While the killer is distracted feeding Thomas, Scuba attacks him from behind, but the killer recovers quickly. Scuba and Jessica make a run for it. They realize they really are in the historic John Carver house. Scuba tells Jessica to go while he holds the killer back. Jessica runs out into the woods. Scuba quickly takes an axe to the chest, but the killer is desperate to catch Jessica, so he leaves Scuba bleeding and doesn't finish him off. By the time he gets outside, Jessica has vanished. She sprints through the woods. She finally makes it back to town. Suddenly, she spots a police SUV. Sheriff Newland is there, looking like he's been attacked. While she is trying to figure out what to do, she sees the killer walk into a nearby warehouse. She grabs Newland's service pistol without hesitation. She follows the killer inside, and she sees something shocking. The killer slowly removes his mask. It's her ex-boyfriend, Bobby. Is he really the butcher behind all this? While she stands there frozen, Sheriff Newland suddenly appears behind her. He tells Jessica to wait outside. He says he'll go in and arrest the killer himself. Moments later, gunshots ring out from inside. Newland walks out. He says, "He's in there. I shot him." The other police officers arrive and rescue the survivors. Then they search the whole warehouse. But they can't find Bobby anywhere. They only find his cell phone. And the phone is logged into the killer's live stream account. It seems all the evidence points straight to Bobby. But Jessica realizes the killer is someone else, because she spots some burrs stuck to Newland's boots. Jessica has the exact same burrs on her clothes. She picked them up while running through the woods earlier. But Newland claims he was knocked out outside the warehouse. So how could he get forest burrs on his boots? Unless he is the killer. Jessica is bad at hiding her reaction. Newland looks down and sees the burrs on his feet. He instantly realizes his cover is blown. He slowly shuts the door, locking Jessica's only escape route. Newland calmly puts on black gloves. His eyes shift from a righteous sheriff to a cold-blooded killer. Sheriff Newland reveals his true colors. He admits he is the killer. He explains his motive. Amanda, who died in the store riot last year, was his girlfriend. They were having a secret affair, and she was pregnant with his child when she died. That riot took away the woman he loved and his unborn baby. He can't forgive Thomas's greed. He can't forgive the entitlement of Jessica and her friends that started the chaos. And he can't forgive the crazy mob, so he planned all of this to make everyone pay in blood. But he misses one detail. While he was monologuing, Jessica quietly started a live stream on her phone. Thousands of viewers witness his confession in real time. Realizing he's fully exposed, Newland goes completely psycho. He lunges at Jessica, just in the nick of time. Bobby crashes a truck right into the warehouse. He smashes through debris and blocks Newland's path. Jessica and Bobby try to make a run for it, but Newland is relentless, chasing them with a sharp axe. Jessica runs to a corner of the warehouse. It's full of parade inflatables and flammable gas tanks. She opens the valve on a giant turkey balloon and releases the gas into the air. As Newland charges with his axe raised, Jessica fires a flare gun. A massive fireball swallows the entire warehouse. It triggers a huge explosion. Sheriff Newland is engulfed in flames. Police and firefighters rush to the scene. Jessica reunites with the survivors, Gabby, Scuba, and Ryan. Bobby is hurt, but he's going to survive. However, when police clear the site, they can't find Sheriff Newland's body. Some say he was burned to ash, but he might have escaped in the chaos. In the final scene, Jessica wakes up screaming from her sleep. She dreams the burning killer is attacking her again. Is it just a nightmare? Or is the killer still out there, watching from the shadows?